It was a couple of months after I joined Roblox, and I wanted to see everything it had to offer. I played games like Hole in the Wall, Welcome to Roblox Building, Build to Survive Zombies, and the like. I made a whole bunch of friends and things just got better from there. I had recently bought Outrageous Builders Club and decided to go to some Builders Club only games. It wasn't much, to be honest. Fast forward a few years later, I stopped playing for a bit until Halloween of 2012. I hadn't really participated in any events until now, so I decided to give it a try. I pressed play, but it teleported me to an entirely different game. It was one of those who killed obbies. I was rather annoyed, but decided to complete it anyways. It was the usual. Music from some game that was out at the time. Lava jumps, platforming, as well as some puzzles. What awaited me at the end was a cart ride. I saw a rather large platform that had item givers. One of those paint yourself things, face changes, as well as the hats you could wear. I jumped in, pressed the forward button, and eventually came to a stop. The music came to a halt, and I was a tad bit annoyed. I pressed the reverse button and tried to move forward again. The same wall stopped me. I moved my camera behind me and I could have sworn I saw some sort of giant face in the distance. In about a second, the face immediately moved towards my camera and made this ear rape noise that made me jump and turn off the volume. The tracks disappeared and I fell into this strange room. I was in this rather big but minimalistic cave. I moved forward and it felt like I wasn't moving at all, and I had this feeling of dread. The utter silence didn't even help either. After what felt like minutes, I found a pastel with a blue orb on it, and a door with some sort of strange language behind it. I picked the orb up, and the door opened. Behind the door was a path leading to a grassy area in the middle of the night. After another while of walking, I found a red orb. I picked it up and decided to head back to the cave. The entrance changed into a giant door with two small slots where I could drop the orbs into. After doing just that, the giant door disappeared and I was met with a mid-air platforming area with zero room for mistakes. There was a giant void below which made me very nervous. With a whole bunch of close calls, I platformed up to a small room that contained a yellow orb. The platforms were in different areas, which made it harder to get back down, but I eventually did. The room changed yet again, but this time to a small room that had a door, as well as the buttons on the floor I could press down that looked like a keypad of sorts. On the wall was a very obvious hint: creation date. After looking around my account's creation date, I jumped on according to the buttons, and the door opened, revealing a green orb. I tried looking behind me, but I couldn't. It wasn't a mouse or keyboard problem or anything. My camera very slowly turned around. A door with two more deposit slots where I could put my orbs appeared. I dropped them in, and the final door opened. I was back to the grassy area again, but this time I heard noises. It sounded like short bursts of static. I didn't know where the sound was coming from, so I kept walking and they seemed to get closer, then suddenly got further away. After standing still for a moment, I saw an entirely black character in the sky. I could hardly notice it at first, but when I did, the figure teleported directly to me. A loud noise played, and the client crashed. Days passed, and eventually I could still see and hear the figure. I asked everyone if they're seeing and hearing what I am, but they either thought I was joking or I was flat out crazy. Every time it ends up in the figure teleporting to me, the same sound playing and my client crashing. Eventually I checked my recent played games and rejoined that fake who killed Obby. Instead of going to the beginning, I was immediately teleported to a grassy field. This time the figure was teleporting in circles around me, very quickly. After trying to escape, the inevitable happens. This time he had a face. It was a low quality image with an actual face, but badly bloodied and beaten. I was rather spooked and decided to take a break and stop playing Roblox for a bit. A couple of weeks or so went by. I came back and I have never seen the figure or the game ever again. But even though the figure was gone, I still sometimes hear those short bursts of static in some of the games I still play to this day. If you ever hear those short bursts of static or see an entirely black figure trying to blend in with the sky, close the game immediately or try to join into a different game. If that doesn't work and he keeps stalking you, try to play on an alt account for a bit until he stops showing up